Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to start again because we had some audio technical difficulties. All right. Welcome to Facebook Live. My name is John Kelly, and I'm speaking from our research greenhouse in Burley, Idaho. In fact, here at our facility, we have a full research farm with permanent and annual cropping systems, golf course greens, golf course tees, as well as fairway. And this is an opportunity for us to look at different treatments, different products. For instance, here in front of me, we have 3 different treatments. We look at the yield of the root growth and development, the biomass. It's helpful for us as we develop new technology. Redox is a bionutrient company, and we focus on 4 key solution areas. The first, a very important one, is abiotic stress defense. A second is soil health. Third, of course, yield and quality. And the fourth is root growth and development, which will be our topic today. Roots have 3 key functions. Of course, they anchor the plant in the soil. Of course, they assimilate water and nutrients and help translocate those water and nutrients in the plant. The third function of roots is often overlooked, and that is the role that roots play in soil biology. Plants are factories which take sunlight energy and turn it into chemical energy in the form of carbohydrates. These photosynthates in plants are a large percentage, sometimes the majority of those photosynthetases are actually exuded out the root system. Now, why would nature take all this hard energy and exude it right out into the soil? The reason being is that these photosynthase, these carbohydrates, promote biological activity. And this biology in the soil helps solubilize key nutrients and facilitate uptake into the plant. In fact, this aspect of a root system, an active root system in the soil, is one of the key pillars of soil health. A consistent, actively growing root system, soil chemistry, as well as soil biology. There are 3 key types of general categories of roots. We have tap roots, fibrous root systems, and we have storage roots. This is particularly important in permanent crops, where as spring comes around and bloom and crop set occurs, much of the energy for that permanent crop was stored in the root system the season before. Now let's talk just briefly about the environment that these roots grow in. If we look at an acre of soil by, say, 6 inches, in that soil, about half in a mineral soil, healthy mineral soil, about half of that soil is what we refer to as pore space. And that's divided roughly in half into macro and micro pore space. Macro pore space is a space in the soil where the water moves only one direction by gravity, and as precipitation or irrigation fills that profile, it drains, pulls in oxygen after it. The micropore space is of particular importance because in that pore space, the water moves by what we refer to as capillary action. It moves any direction it wants to. This micropore space, this capillary pore space, is of particular importance because the roots actually live in a thin film of water on those soil particles. To illustrate that, you've probably heard the term permanent wilting point. Permanent wilting point is when that micropore space dries down to the point where it's actually killing the roots. Another aspect of soils that is important is organic matter, and we'll talk about that when we talk about soil carbon. So with that background, I'd like to talk about 3 key principles to improving root growth and development. The first being calcium, the second will be phosphorus, and the third will be soluble carbon. Calcium is a an essential component of cropping systems with three key benefits. First, in the soil, calcium provides soil structure. The atomic construction of a calcium molecule is unique in that it has the ability to attach to one colloid to another, pull those together, and flocculate that soil. That flocculation, or aggregating that soil, creates better conditions for air-water relationships, greater micropore space quality, and is essential and cannot be replaced with any other practice. So adequate calcium for structures is essential. The second aspect of calcium goes to every single cell in the plant. The cell wall structure integrity relies on calcium. The third key aspect of calcium is often overlooked in that a root exudes a great deal of pressure in order to grow in the soil. In fact, it can grow up to about 300 pounds per square inch. It exudes that much pressure. Just past the root tip, that root must assimilate ionic calcium, plant available calcium. And when I refer to plant available or ionic, that's calcium in its fundamental chemical form, chemical annotation of Ca++, cannot be attached to something else. If a plant does not have adequate ionic calcium, it simply quits growing. So what is a great way to determine if there's a calcium opportunity in your cropping system? A soil analysis is fantastic. A soil analysis can give us a very good perspective on calcium opportunities. There are two fundamental types of soil analysis. There is a chemical extraction and a soluble paste extraction. At Redox, we love to see both of those because it provides greater perspective on where the opportunities lie. In fact, Redox has developed a software system wherein we take third-party laboratory data and we analyze it to identify opportunities. And I think of many of those, calcium really tells a story with that soil analysis. Secondly, let's talk about phosphorus. Phosphorus is the energy molecule of the plant, and root growth, particularly early in the season, is a highly energy-intensive process. Phosphorus is available to plant in the chemical annotation of PO4 with 2 negative charges. That element, in that configuration, is highly susceptible to undesirable reactions, which is one of the reasons why it's so important to have good soil biology. Because biology in the soil creates carbon dioxide, and in that soil water forms carbonic acid, which can break down compounds like calcium phosphate, so the plant can take those up. The third thing we want to talk about is soluble carbon and the importance of that. As we look across an acre, 6 inches by an acre, 2 million pounds. Even as low at 1% means we have 20,000 pounds of organic matter in that acre, which is a lot. But that does not necessarily indicate that that organic matter is in the form that is going to promote better biology. When we refer to soluble carbon, we're talking about bioreactive carbon. In other words, carbon that has the ability for microbes to interact, use it as energy and a food source to promote better conditions. In a given acre, the concentration tends to be relatively low of this soluble carbon. In contrast to the 20,000 pounds, often can be just a few pounds per acre. Unfortunately, with soluble carbon, a traditional soil test does not give us good quantitative measures to determine if we have good soluble carbon in the soil. There are testing methods that are making rapid advancements and Redox is participating in many of those, looking to find good quantitative analysis, determine where our soluble carbon and biology is in our soils. But one of the best tools which I recommend doing no matter what your crop or cropping system, is a shovel. Particularly with biology, with a shovel, looking at the roots, looking at the soil conditions, the quantity, the quality of the roots, their relative plant parasitic pathogens that are on those roots that are causing damage. Just the look of the soil, the smell of the soil, all tell a story and are very important, especially as you implement practices to make improvements. You want to be able to have a good assessment so you can tell when you're making progress. So in summary, in our discussion of calcium, phosphorus, and soluble carbon, what I'd recommend you do is message us. You can message us on Facebook and reach out to us if you'd like us to look at the soil reports you have, or if you would like to find out how to run one of these soil tests with the Redox software. We're always happy to provide feedback. There's no obligation. We love talking about agronomic concepts and principles and identifying where we can be of help to you. Thanks for your time, and look forward to hearing from you.